good. Keep it loaded, keep it loaded, keep it loaded, keep it loaded. Very nice, I'm looking at the camera. Very nice, good, good, good. What's going on, Preloader Nation? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Always a pleasure to have you guys here with me. And if you don't know that by now, I don't know where you've been, man. I don't know where you've been. For the rest of you guys, never been here before, welcome to you too. My name's Robert. The name of this channel is Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle. All right. Now, that's the name of the channel. But again, this channel covers slow speed motorcycle operation. That's what being the boss of your motorcycle is, being proficient in that. But I also do product reviews, product installs, and anything and everything that I think is going to be beneficial to you guys. And sometimes it's just stuff I want to share with you guys. So today I'm not talking to you about motorcycles, but I am going to talk to you about cars. So this right here, this is my 2019 Genesis G90. And man, oh man, I love this car. Just a beautiful car, fast as ever, right? So what I want to talk to you about with this car is I leased this car 3 years ago, right? That's what I do, I lease cars. This is the most depreciating asset you're ever going to own, a car, especially if it's a luxury car. So I lease cars. The lease is up on this. The story behind this car is for the last 6 months approximately of me leasing this car, I let my brother take it out in Virginia because I wasn't driving it. It was just sitting in my driveway. You know, I have multiple cars and motorcycles, and I'm riding motorcycles more than I'm driving cars because I live in South Georgia. We ride all year here, right? So anyway, he brought the car back. Today's the day the lease is up. And he loves the car. He wants the car, right? So he wants me to buy the car. So I'm thinking about that. Definitely have to do it. Here's why. This car has 6,700 miles on it. Now, at the end of this lease term, it was supposed to have, at the maximum, 30,135 miles, right? So I started to ask you guys, should I buy this car, right? This car is worth, right now, about $38,000. As a matter of fact, they told me at this dealership that if they put this car on the floor, they'll put it on the floor for $37,500. So for me to buy the car just makes sense. It's very rare that you're going to be getting a vehicle that actually has equity, and that's what this has. So I'm going to purchase this car, but that's not what I want to talk to you guys about. What I do want to talk to you guys about, by the way, guys, I'm at Auto Nation Hyundai in Hilton Head, and this is a temporary building for them because, like most Hyundai dealerships, they're building new dealerships because Genesis, all right, Genesis is the luxury brand of Hyundai, just like Lexus is for Toyota, Acura is for Honda. They have to have their own building, right? And that's what they're working on. It's actually a little bit over there. And I think they're doing the same thing in Savannah. Anyway, I'm a huge fan of Hyundai and Genesis for a number of reasons. But what I want to talk to you guys about today is sitting right there. OMG. Guys, look at this Land Yacht. This is a 2023 Genesis G90. And guys, when I tell you, now I've had a G90 before, and I loved that car as well. And you definitely get so much for your money when it comes to Genesis and Hyundai, right? I mean, I remember Hyundai used to be a brand that, you know, I can't afford nothing else, so I'll get this. No. Those days are gone. This car, you get so much bang for your buck. This brand, I should say. And this is just a phenomenal car for a lot of different reasons. So rather than me going over a bunch of stuff with you guys, I'm actually going to have one of the salesmen talk to you about this car, and we'll go from there. Now, he's not going to be able to cover every single thing because it's just so much, right? It's so much. So anyway, let's talk to him. I'm not going to tell you his name. I'll let him introduce himself to you. All right, let's do it. Okay, what's your name?
My name is Shawn Simpson here at Genesis of Hilton Head.
Tell me about this Genesis.
Well, this is a 2023 G90. This one is going to be equipped with a 3.5 liter turbocharged V6 with an electronic supercharger, producing up to 402 horsepower. 21-inch wheels. Our door handles are fold in, automatic. So with the G90, what we've added, some of the updates, we have soft close doors, but they're also power for all four doors. You're going to have reclining second row seating with ventilation, excuse me, Bang & Olufsen sound system, and these rear seats are also memories.
Can you demonstrate the power closing door?
Yes, sir.
Nice, and soft close, very nice.
So a couple things that you do have. You also have remote start, but you also have one of my favorites, and that's going to be the Smart Park Assist. So I can pull my G90 out of a tight parking space or garage. And don't worry, if you're doing a demonstration and one of the kids runs out behind the vehicle, there are sensors on all four sides. So although my hand is still on the remote to move, it won't move because I'm here at the sensors.
So you have to hold the button. When you let go of the button, it'll stop.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yep. But as you can see, there's sensors on all four sides of the bumper, which just helps with preventing accidents.
And as long as you're using that feature, the hazard lights will be on, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
As your hazard lights are also going to come on when you're doing a remote start from the app. So you're going to have memory seating on all four seats, two front, two rear. You're going to have a 14-inch display with your navigation, and which is also touch for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You're also going to have a 360 camera, quad LED headlights as well as tail lights. So one thing that the Genesis has that I'm a big fan of is the immobilization. So being that I didn't activate the driver door, it put itself in a immobilization mode, which turned off all the electronics as if someone was trying to break inside the vehicle. Gotcha. You have a tri-zone climate control. Again, this is full touch. I can even set it up where I can take some of these widgets and have them on my instrument cluster, digital readout for speed, as well as heads-up display. But you also have a digital speedometer, which is also going to show up on your navigation when you're traveling.
Very nice, very nice. And this part of the instrument cluster is 3D, correct?
Correct. But you can also change it from 3D to 2D. You do have blind view monitoring, so when you turn on the turn signal, it gives you a live image of what's to the left or the right of the vehicle. You do have lane centering, which is like a autonomous feel when you're driving. So it's like the Tesla, just a short duration of time, but we all multitask behind the wheel. That's just saving lives. It's utilizing the camera above the rearview mirror there to keep you centered in your lane, which is pretty neat.
Okay. All right, and of course I'm gonna go over some more stuff about this car because these nice people are allowing me to take this car home so I can actually get a good feel of it. And also, I want to actually experience this car at night. I want to look at the ambient lighting, see how many options I have with it, check out the lights on the front and the rear. Like these things are important to me. You guys know how much I love lights. I want to see how this car looks at night. That nice tail light that goes from one side of the car to the other. Just very nice, very nice. All right.
And one thing I did, I just hit setup here and I went to vehicle. And so you can adjust it because there's several different ambient light settings. So you can just filter through. Okay. You can even do custom and take it from the wheel of what you would want here.
Very nice.
So if you want like a peach ambient lighting, you can do that too. So just some cool little features. I just want to show you one last thing. So I double tapped on this screen. Okay, so right now I can do everything digitally from the rear.
Very nice.
Which is another cool feature for the G90. Again, there's a ton of luxury sedan, flagship sedans out there, and I think that the G90 is definitely one to be reckoned with.
All right.
And then these are mirrors, of course, Mr. Rob. Did you notice the big speaker here?
Nice. That's very nice. The speaker in the ceiling. All right, we're gonna deal with all of that.
But it's just one thing I wanted to show you here. But just double tap, then swipe, then everything is digital for you.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, guys, so I'm gonna jump in this car. Uh-oh, I just saw something else, guys. I just saw something else. I heard it. The car actually lowered. Let me see something. See, that's what I mean when I say you gotta spend some time with these cars, because apparently the suspension was up, which will ease in getting into the car. You're supposed to get into the car. The car is loaded. You feel like you're falling into it. These are older people problems, I like to call them. But once the door was closed, it actually lowered back down. This car has an air suspension, by the way. Okay, it didn't do it that time. I don't know what the hell was going on, but I'm gonna figure it out. Anyway, take this car for a drive, but first let me see if the guy that authorized me to take this car home wants to be on camera. All right, guys, so you'll see on my 2019, as I approach my car, I'm not pressing any buttons. And see how the mirror just comes out because of the proximity key. And it also, of course, you can't see it at night, but it puts a Genesis symbol on the ground, a puddle light. Okay, now that's a 2019. Let's see about the 2023 G90 as I approach it. Okay, mirror comes out and the door handles come out. So they're still keeping that same luxury of the mirror coming out automatically for you. But of course, now that we have these flush mount handles, they also come out. And I think that's just a classy, classy touch. I love gadgets. I love anything that makes my life easier. I love luxury, and that's cool. See, it just went back in. Front and rear handles went back in. Mirror folded back in. Again, I didn't touch anything, just proximity. All right, guys, so Mike wasn't available. He's the general sales manager. Again, awesome guy. Always good service here. Now, let's hit the road on this thing. Let me show you guys something else. So here's the car. You know, I already said I love convenience. I don't want to have to do stuff that I don't necessarily have to do. And that's what I'm talking about with this car. It kind of eliminates, takes care of some of these things. So I already showed you when you walk up to the car, it's going to bring the handles out to you, unfold the mirror. But not only that, I still don't have to press anything to unlock it. Just reach and open. And again, there's a motor on the door, so it's going to open. Every time I touch the door, I feel it tugs a little bit to the left because it's doing like the job for me. That's just outstanding. All right. Anyway, let me make sure that the G70 is locked up because obviously I'm leaving it here. We worked out a great deal, so I'm happy for my brother. He's getting an awesome car. It's basically a brand new car, and that's going to be his now. All right. So hold up. The mirrors are still out, so that means that's another thing. Because the mirrors are out, I know that the car is unlocked. Take the key, lock it, mirrors in. So now I know that car is locked before I even walk up to it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Oh my God, I didn't even hear it start. Oh, wow. So I forgot, that quick I forgot, guys. So the door was all the way open and I reached over to grab it. Again, force of habit, like I'm a peasant. All I have to do is press this button right here. Door closes for me. I mean, all right, anyway, let me get the seat ready for me, to get the mirrors set for me, and I'm gonna hit the road. All right, guys, so no music on or anything like that because I want to be able to hear air noise and stuff like that. I'm using the smart cruise control. Let me move it up as far as speed. Now look at that. I had it set at 80. I moved it up to 85 and it automatically stiffened the bolsters on the seat. That's just awesome. It really is. So they kind of think of everything. Now my G70, it doesn't do that based on speed, but it will do that based on the mode you pick as far as drive modes. And when you put it in sport mode, it squeezes the bolsters so that it keeps you in the seat more. Now I just felt the bolsters go back out now. Why? I don't know. I don't know that much about it, but I don't have to hold the steering wheel. But after a while, it will prompt you to put your hands back on the steering wheel. So I'm showing you right now as I'm driving. All right, now you see right there it says put your hands on the steering wheel. And really all you have to do is this. And that corrects it, and then it goes away. Then you have a little bit more time to enjoy driving the car without actually having to keep your hand on the steering wheel. But like most of the Genesis products and Hyundai as well, the adaptive cruise control works very well. Like I'm not bouncing from side to side in the lane. It keeps itself, it holds itself in the middle of the lane. All right. So yeah, guys, very good stuff. It's quiet, it's comfortable. And imagine if I took the time to actually set everything the way I wanted it. I'm only going to have this car for 24 hours, so I'm not going to waste time going through all of that. But once I get home, we'll go over some more stuff and we'll wrap this video up. All right, guys, another upgrade is, I don't know if you can see because of the glare, but you see how it shows the vehicle in front of me, right? That's that white box. And that's not uncommon for other vehicles that I've driven, Genesis vehicles and Hyundai. But you see that shaded gray image on the right? That's the vehicle that I'm next to. And as I'm approaching it, look at it. And now you're going to see that is awesome. All right, guys, so one thing I'm not really impressed by is this key. They could have did a better job with the key. The key is, well, first of all, the buttons are on the edges of the key, on both edges. So they're small, but it could have been more substantial, especially for the caliber of car this is, right? That's the key. But one thing I do like, Smart Pack. So what is Smart Pack? So yes, you have remote start on here. So I can, let's see, you gotta press the lock button first and then hold down the button to start the car. So, and I didn't realize it before, but this car also has air suspension. So I'll hear it doing something, and when I look, the car's lowering, it's raising. It's crazy. But anyway, from the key, and you have to hold the button to do so, and you'll see the hazard lights come on, and the car will just, move where you need it to move. So if you're in a tight space or something, if I let go of the button, the car stops. If something gets in front of the car stops. If the car gets too far away from me, the car stops. So they've kind of thought of everything. So, if you're in an area where the car, right now I'm holding the button to bring the car back here. If you're in an area where you can't get out of the doors because it's tight, some people have small garages, that's where this feature comes in handy. And I think that's just awesome. Now, this is not just exclusive to this car. Hyundai has this as well, but it looks better on this car. All right, guys, so I'm in the back seat now. I'm gonna go for a quick drive. I got Finesse the Challenger here. What? He's gonna be doing the driving. He's responsible, so I'm not worried about it. And you know what? The door's open. Finesse the Challenger got in the car and, like a peasant, used his left hand to close the door. We won't be doing that. Now, again, there's a button right there, but look, that's gonna require me to lean forward. Nobody wants to do that, right? I got a button right here. Boom. So again, we already went over this. I got my screen here. Put my seatbelt on. What? I got to put the seatbelt on myself?
Oh, so when you go into drive, it gives you like a little radar readout of what's around you, if there's anything around you. That's cool.
And it does that while you're driving too. You're going to see, if there's something in front of you, you'll see the image on that screen and it'll be white. Anything on the sides of you will be gray. That's just, I'm very impressed by that. And the other thing I like is the shifter. Now it's a knob, but if you put it in reverse, okay, put it in reverse. Did you feel the haptic feedback? Yeah, so it'll let you know. You won't be in reverse without knowing you're in reverse. Also, when he put the car in reverse, the sunshade automatically went down. It makes sense. I used to do the same thing on my G90. And when he puts it in drive, the sunshade will go back up. Of course, that's if you had it up. All right, Jeeves. You're not buying this car to be flying down the road. It's not a sports car. It's a luxury car or as I like to call it, it's a land yacht. So when I'm driving this kind of car, it doesn't mean I don't want to get up and go when I need to. Throw it in sport, and you can do that. I'm gonna put these shades down because it's not that much sun. And whatever I do on this side of the car, I can control on the other side of the car. So you have two switches here. This is my switch for my window, and then over here, that's for the window over here. So I press that, and of course if I press it again, that'll put the window down. I can also control the rear shade. That's on this screen, and that's the button for the rear shade. Oh, it says open and close. So okay, I see now. The stuff on the left is the menu. So once I press the shade, that opens up the menu for the shade. And you have right here open, close. It says open, close right here. It also has open, close here and here. So it's pretty much making it so you can control it from, oh, I see. That's allowing me to control the shades on the side of the car. So that's what that's for. Close that. Oh, open that, I'm sorry. And then this one is for the shade behind me. So, you know, it's good stuff. This right here controls lights. So I can control my overhead lights here. This is for the seats. Ah, this is the massage, is it? Oh no, this is rest. Ah, look at that. So whatever I press. Oh, and if I hold the other one, it goes back, and that's controlling the front seat, which is good too. You can control the front seat, which is important if nobody's sitting up there and you need more leg space. So you can either do it here, or if you look right here, see that button right there? It says passenger. If I press that, now the controls from my seat control the front seat, right? So it's so convenient, and you know, that's definitely one of the things I've always appreciated about Hyundai and Genesis vehicles is options. You have so many options. So yes, it's a touch screen, but if you don't want to reach up for it, there's a knob for it. The other thing I like is physical buttons. So yes, there is a lot of, you know, stuff electronic wise up there, but if you want physical buttons for stuff you use all of the time, navigation, media, radio, you know, seeking the radio, stuff like that, the map, there's physical buttons for that, and I love that. All right, so go ahead and turn the front wheel all the way, and you can see the back wheel turns. It's not a lot, but it doesn't matter. It only needs to be a little bit, but you can see it moving. All right, bust a Yui. So he can make that turn a lot better with the four-wheel steering. And in this car, yeah, you can see the back wheel. In this car, man, you feel it. Like, I feel it a lot. Wow. And again, my Cadillac has four-wheel steering, but I don't feel it as much as I feel it in here. And it doesn't, this doesn't turn more than that, but I think it has something to do with with how wide these 275s are. You know, that might have something to do with it. Not sure. Love the brake lights. In the front, we got the daytime running lights. Oh, look at that. It's the high beam, I guess. High beam. Got sensors in the front, 2 of them. Camera right here. Forward-facing camera. Again, this is 360 degrees, so you're gonna have a camera in the front. You're gonna have a camera under each mirror and one on the back. These are signal lights. All right, and that's Genesis's new thing. That's gonna distinguish their car with those lights and the lights in the front. Good stuff, guys. Look at those rear wheels turning, man. You feel it in that car, boy. He's raising. Oh no, he's driving away. land yacht, baby. So Finesse said this, it almost feels like it's crab walking sometimes, right? For those of you that don't know what that term means, it feels like the car's moving sideways, like it's sliding. The rear wheel steering is very, it's significant. It really is significant. Like you feel it, and it's beneficial. Yeah, that looks nice. Oh man. It's a possibility. Four-wheel steering, so it turns like crazy, man. You're gonna drive it, you're gonna feel it too, man.
Bro, if this is the Genesis, where's the Revelation? God. Look at it. He feel like taking his hat off now. Is that important? See, he shouldn't turn the wheel so tight. Oh, look at that grill, Rob. Oh my bad.
No, you're good, man. Okay, so here's the key.
Bro.
Now, what I want you to do is walk up to the car and open the door. Don't press anything. You can put the key in your pocket. Put the key in your pocket.
The door.
Open the driver's side door.
All right. I knew something was going on. And then it locks up when you left it.
It's not gonna hurt you, man. It's proximity based.
Okay.
And you're gonna notice when you do pull the door open, it's gonna assist you. So the doors are assisted. It assists you opening and closing. So go ahead.
All right.
Don't be afraid.
All right. Now they ain't gonna lock my hand over there, right?
No.
Whoa. Oh my God. Go ahead.
Yeah, sit on in.
All right.
Oh, he just dressed his right.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
Man.
Okay, now close the door.
Oh. What I thought the door closed. And he's
There you
supposed to
go.
do it for me?
No. Don't reach, man. That's for peasants.
Oh.
The button's right next to you. Right there. See that? Right there. Yeah.
Here?
Just press it.
Come on, man. Come
Press
on.
it.
Oh, what's up?
Okay, so here we got the engine. It's a V6 3.5 liter turbo GDI and electric supercharger. So one thing I like about this, a lot of cars have the ability to close it, but this also gives you the ability to lock all of the doors too. So when you're in your car, you get out of your car, you get some stuff out of the trunk, which the trunk is spacious, and then you press this button, and it's gonna not only close the trunk, but lock all the doors.
Yep. Side mirrors went in, and the handles went in.
Yep. So you guys know how I feel about lights from the side. Now cars have wraparound lights anyway. That's just the standard. It has to have it. But these lights on the side, that's just awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely.
And these LEDs in the back, I mean, they are just, and I think I love it. I love it so much because they don't have any. We know LED stands for, what is it, light emitting diodes or something like that. But you don't see them. You don't see the individual lights. It's a smooth light. All of the light is just smooth going all the way across. Oh my God, that's just beautiful. And even the lights on the side of the car, same thing. It's a smooth LED. All right, guys, I want to show this to you because this is something that I thought was gimmicky until I experienced it. So you see right there, it says Mood Curator, right? And if you click on that, and now you have all of these different moods, so to speak. And you see at the bottom of the screen, it says Vitality, Delight, Care, and Comfort. And they all do something a little bit different. And it'll show to you up here what they do. That's the music it's going to play. This is the lighting it's going to set as far as the ambient lighting. This is a fragrance. That's the massage, and then this is the shades in the back. And based on what you said, I think one of my favorite ones is Care. It changes the mood lights in the car. We'll go to start. And immediately I feel a seat massaging me. Oh, and the music starts to play. And guys, I gotta tell you, it is relaxing. It's actually so relaxing that I feel like, you know, if you're fatigued, don't do it because it'll put you to sleep. Very impressive. One more thing. Let's turn up the mood curator music. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. But what I want to show you guys is this. I'm gonna put the car in reverse. Of course, I get a haptic feedback. Now, before, this car was white. This car gives you the ability, as a matter of fact, if I switch it to this, you can see it more. This car gives you the ability to change the color of the car so that it actually matches your car. This is what I mean by the small details. That's awesome. And they, of course, they have every single color that the car comes in. And how do they know the colors? They made the car. Man, that looks good.
I agree.
Guys, so I said I'm not going to go over a bunch of stuff, but there is one thing I do want to share with you, is the experience of walking up to this car at night. Unlocks the doors, we already know that, but we get this puddle light. Now this is not new to Genesis. It doesn't take long to lock too. I'm going to walk back toward it. This is also, this feature was on my 2017 G90. And it's also on my 2019 G70. So we have the ambient lighting in here. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna cut the interior light off just so you can appreciate the ambient lighting. We have some right here. Some right there, and there's even some in the sunroof on both of the front and the back, the moonroof. I'm sorry, the camera's, you know, it's gonna struggle in the dark. See, look at that. I reached for the door like a peasant. Nope, press the button. Ambient lighting on the door. Nice animation. All right, let's start her up. And when this car starts, you barely hear it or feel it. Okay, so what I want to go over with you guys quickly is just some of the options. And what I'm talking about is, one of the things I like about Genesis and Hyundai is, if you guys have a car where you can put the blinker on, you don't have to press it all the way down. There's an indent, and if you press it to the first indent, it'll blink. Now you saw it did that 3 times, right? And that's what most of the cars that I own do. They have that feature 3 times, but that's all you can do. Well, what I like about Genesis and Hyundai is you can customize that. And you can make it blink 3 times, 5 times, or 7 times. And I believe I always pick 7 times because or maybe 5, but usually 7 because I want to have the option for that to blink longer than I probably need it. Three blinks is never really enough for me. Okay. And here's the option that I'm talking about right here. As far as your signal light, you can actually turn that off. 3 flashes. I'm going to switch mine to 7 flashes. Actually, you know what? 5. 5 is good enough. Okay, so if I wanted to switch the color of the ambient light, we would go over to 3D setup. We'll click on that. Nice animation here. Go up to where it says lights. And it's already on ambient lighting. We can come across here. We can change the brightness of the ambient lighting. We can have it dimmed in the dark. We can link it to the drive mode. So if I click that, notice it's going to change. Now it's a blue because I have the car in comfort. But right here, if I press drive mode, switch it to comfort, now it's a light color. See how everything got lighter? Now if I switch it to sport mode, everything gets red and the bolster squeezed me into the seat. The colors are same here too. These are part of the ambient color. This is the shifter, and this is the thing that you can use if you don't want to use the touchscreen to control what's going on this screen. Let's take this link to drive off as far as the color. See, now it goes back to the color I had it. Just good stuff, guys, good stuff. All right, guys, one last thing. So if I go back here, if you click on, it's already on it. See where it says door? If you click on that, it gives you options on the auto close door option. But what I want to talk to you guys about is right here, where it says auto unlock. And you see right there, it says upon vehicle off, on shift to P, which is park, and then off. You notice I have that off. And I recommend that you always have that off. You don't want to stop someplace, put your car in park, and now all of your doors unlock automatically. That's a safety hazard as far as I'm concerned, because if you stop your car and somebody happens to be watching and they walk up to your car and try the door, if it's locked and that alerts you because they tried it, you can start that car back up and get the hell out of there. But if all the doors unlock as soon as you put your car in park, clearly you can see why that's an issue. So auto lock, yes, I like that. I enable that on speed. You can also enable that as soon as you put the car in drive, which is not a bad idea. But auto unlock, no. And when you turn off the car, you're gonna get a little animation. All right, so you know what? Looking at the G90 as I opened up my garage door, looks pretty good. And it looks good in my garage too. All right, of course, I probably wouldn't pick this color, but forget about the color. And more importantly, putting the garage door down, like a glove. So really, whatever kind of car you're looking to buy, when you get in it, when you look at it, you're going to be comparing it to what you're accustomed to. So for me, this is why that Cadillac was so underwhelming to me. You know why that Cadillac was so underwhelming to me? Because prior to that car, guess what I owned? I owned a Genesis G90. And my G90 beat that Cadillac in almost every category there is. Speed, comfort, leg room, elbow room, storage, you name it, technology. So my point is, if somebody that didn't have that caliber of car got into my Cadillac, they'd be impressed. Oh, this looks nice, right? But I was underwhelmed. I'm still underwhelmed. I can't wait to get out of that lease, which is 7 months from now on that Cadillac. And like I said, this is definitely a contender. Now, the good thing is if you're coming out of a Mercedes or a 745 or 745, see, I just dated myself. A 7 Series BMW or an Audi A8 or a Lex, anything like that. If you're coming from those class of cars and you sit in this car, you're not going to say, I don't, mine is way better. And that's my point. You're not going to get in that car and think that this is beneath your car, because in a lot of ways, it's, in my opinion, it's a higher level. And here's the other thing. So those other cars, especially Mercedes, there's so many different things that you can add to it that price can start at 110,000 and just skyrocket up. And what's even more absurd is, for instance, on an S-Class Mercedes, heated seats is an option. Listen, there's not a vehicle that I own that didn't come standard with heated seats. And if you're paying over $100,000 for a vehicle, that should be standard, but it's just not. You can actually buy an S-Class Mercedes that doesn't have heated seats, a heated steering wheel. Like, that's a package, which costs extra. This car doesn't have a crap load of packages, and that's what I love. That's what I love about Genesis and Hyundai, period. There's not a bunch of different trim levels, so it makes it confusing. I don't know if I'm getting this or that. It's usually 3 levels, and that's it. And guys, I've been in the Hyundai / Genesis family for a number of years now, so I'm familiar with some stuff. Like, some stuff is familiar, but most of it isn't, and that's a beautiful thing. That means this is a total refresh. Again, I had the 2017 Genesis G90, the 2019 G70. I had a Hyundai Sonata. I had a G80, Genesis G80. My wife had the Palisade, and right now we're waiting for the new model Palisade. That's a beautiful, beautiful truck. We're waiting for the calligraphy model. You know, everything's backed up now, but we're waiting for that. I have a Santa Fe. That's a Hyundai. I have an Elantra. That's a Hyundai. So, you know, listen, when it comes to this car game, I want to get the most for the least amount of money, right? In other words, I want it to be affordable for me, but I don't want to be ripped off. And I can tell you right now that Genesis and Hyundai, again, they're not sponsoring this video or anything like that, but again, I want to share this with you guys. If you're thinking about purchasing the car, you have to look at this brand, because the warranty, everything about it is just, it's a great experience. So my G70, the other thing about Genesis is when you lease one of these cars, right? 3-year lease, 36 months. Service is included, right? Any service that the car needs, oil changes, whatever, included. There's valet service included, meaning they're gonna come, they'll come to your house, bring you a loaner car, and then take your car, serve it, and then vice versa, bring your car back. So if you're busy, you don't have to worry about driving to the dealership and going through all of that stuff, right? These things are important. All of that's included. So at the end of that lease, when you give that car back, whatever the price of that car was for the term of that lease, that's all you spent. The services for the car, as far as the connected services, so that you can start it and stop it from your phone, all that stuff, that's free for 3 years. Again, that's within the term of the lease. So you see, you're getting a lot of stuff from these cars, and you're not paying extra fees. You know, you always have to think, what am I paying for this car for the life of the loan of the car? Now again, this is not a loan. Well, technically it is. You know, it's a lease. In other words, you still have to pay for the car every month. Whether you lease a car or finance it, if you don't make your payment, somebody's coming to get it, all right? So, and these things depreciate like crazy. So for me, I'm all about leasing. I want something new every 3 years or 2 years or whatever. So I just think that they just not only give a phenomenal product with great service, but it's priced right now. Yes, this car is $104,000, but again, this car is it's appealing. It's going to appeal to somebody that was willing to spend $100,000 on the car. Somebody looking at an S-Class or a 7 Series. That's why it's in that class of cars, right? And this car has to be considered because of what you get. Like, this car definitely offers you a lot of stuff that those other cars don't. A lot of things. Those cars are going to offer stuff this car doesn't as well. So you just kind of pick what makes most sense to you. Where do you want to put your money most, right? And you know, that's why it's good to have choices, right? But this, I mean, it's hard not to consider this car. It is just beautiful. It's a beautiful car. It drives beautifully. It feels like it's quality, and you know, people are gonna have to get past the badge, you know, of a Mercedes or a BMW or an Audi or whatever. If you could look past that, OMG, this is just beautiful. And again, this is the first rendition of this, meaning this whole refreshed model. And all I see is better things to come from this company. All right, so guys, there's no doubt about the fact that this is just a beautiful, beautiful car. It's a phenomenal car in so many different ways. And again, I want to thank Mike for allowing me to do a 24-hour road test on this car, because once I get rid of that Cadillac, I got some thinking about what I want to replace it with, and this car is definitely in the running. You get a whole lot, It's just quality. Everything feels substantial. The doors feel substantial. The handles feel substantial. The levers in the car for the blinkers and the windshield wipers are substantial. And really, I need a week's test drive to really go over everything that this car is capable of doing. And obviously, I don't have that much time, but I love getting a new car and learning how to do everything. And that doesn't mean you're going to use every feature that the car has, but for me, it's fun. If you're easily intimidated by technology, you know, this is probably not the car for you, but it's really not that difficult. That's the thing too. It's not really complicated. The animations on the screen show you exactly what to do and tell you how to do it. It's just a lot of stuff. So again, this was not supposed to be an in-depth car review. There's plenty of channels out there if you guys are interested in really learning more about this car. But this is the kind of car that you can't just go to the dealership, have them talk to you about it, and then say, I'll take it. You need to do your due diligence by going online, looking at videos, another benefit of YouTube, and learn about the car, learn everything about the car. And that way, when you do go into the dealership, you're going to have a leg up. And everything that they're telling you, you should know it already. And if it's something that you didn't know, that's great, right? But it's, in other words, it's making the learning curve smaller so you don't feel that intimidation while you're out there. But to be able to drive this car without somebody sitting next to you telling you turn here, turn there, but really drive the car the way you would drive it, do the things you would do, see it at your house, it makes sense. So again, I want to thank Hilton Head Auto Nation for allowing me to test drive this car for 24 hours by myself so I can really experience it the way I would like to experience it, the best way to experience it in my opinion. And guys, definitely put this on your consideration list if you were thinking about buying a car in this class. And this class, I'm talking about S-Class, I'm talking about 7 Series BMW, I'm talking about Audi A8, I'm talking about Lexus LS, right? That's the class I'm talking about here. I am not including the Cadillac CT6. They don't even make that anymore, but right now they don't even make a car that's in the same class. How about that? All right, guys? All right, that's going to do it, guys. Again, this was not an in-depth review. Wasn't planning on it being this long. Appreciate you guys sticking with me this long. I know there's anything you could be doing with your time, and the fact that you chose to spend a little bit of it with me, that's always appreciated. Guys, if you like this video or anything I do, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and share the video. Definitely helps out. And subscribing helps me out, guys. So if you haven't done so, please do so. All right, guys. Spend more time being thankful for the things that you have and less time complaining about the things that you don't. All right, guys. That's going to do it for me. Until next time.